I like that's the way you are concluding the book and aggregating a lot of knowledge and simplifying for not just service providers but individuals who are working in the space. And we have seen in the last 1 year on the work done in NDIS review, and the NDIS review work happened parallel to the Royal Commission work, and there was some overlaps and there was not so much overlaps. And the report is now public. What's our initial views on the long report on 26 recommendations and 139 action items?
So starting off with DRC, I'd give them a 7 out of 10. They had to cover an enormous scope. I wonder if in retrospect there should have been 2 separate Royal Commissions, one in relation to service provision and one in relation to other aspects of lives of people with disability. Because sometimes the Commission hasn't given the depth of coverage of some issues, which I think those was needed in the circumstances. For the NDIS review, I'd give them an 8 out of 10. I think they had a tighter brief, obviously, and they were able to give the depth of that brief due consideration. I'm not sure they've got everything right, but that's okay. It's a work in progress. And of course, we've now got yet another review. And so it was specifically on regulation, and it's going to be really fascinating to see the results of that review. I'll certainly be sending the review the academic articles that I've published, because I think it's important that we promote deeper understanding of these issues. If we're going to get the best solutions for people with disabilities, we need a really good and strong regulatory system.
There are quite a few key issues in the recommendations, the way that report is written. Before I go specific issues out, do you think the Royal Commission and the NDIS review report, they are independent works? Are they aligned in some way or fashion, or they're misaligned for the majority of it?
There are differences. I was actually shocked at times in the DRC's report by the way they just ignored issues and said, oh, that's being considered by the NDIS review. I would have thought after running a Royal Commission for 4.5 years they might have a few things to say, but in fact they seem to defer to the NDIS review from time to time. There is a general theme through both reports, such as a concern for human rights, a concern for quality and safeguarding, a concern for financial integrity in the case of the NDIS review. So, yeah, I won't overstate the differences, but there are some.
There are. Yeah.